The moment you started reading this, something inside your bloodline cracked open. Not metaphorically, not poetically. Literally, a generational seal that has kept your family circling the same financial ceiling for decades just broke. The ancestors who came before you, who worked themselves to exhaustion for wages that barely survived the month, who dreamed privately but never said it out loud, they felt it too. Something in the invisible thread connecting every person who shares your blood just shifted. And the shift did not happen because of luck or timing. It happened because somewhere along the line, you started thinking differently than everyone who came before you. In the entire span of spiritual and cosmic history, generational wealth curses are among the most difficult patterns to interrupt. Ancient wisdom traditions across Africa, Asia, indigenous America, and the mystic schools of Europe all identified the same phenomenon, that poverty is not simply an economic condition. It is an energetic inheritance passed down through belief, behavior, and unspoken family law. To break it requires something so rare that most lineages go 6, 7, 8 generations without producing it. It requires one soul willing to carry the discomfort of being different from everyone they love. You are that soul, and what is happening to you spiritually right now has almost no historical precedent. Think about the conversations you have had about money that felt different from the ones around you. The moment you refused to accept that, struggle was simply the family way. The time you stayed up learning something, a skill, a strategy, a concept that nobody in your immediate circle understood or encouraged. The moment you looked at your parents' financial reality and quietly, privately, without judgment, decided you were going to build something different. That decision was not ambition. That was a spiritual contract being signed. The universe does not hand generational wealth to the loudest dreamer. It gives it to the one who decides first, in private, with no applause. From the moment that private decision was made inside you, two forces began paying close attention to your life. The first was darkness, the spirit of generational limitation that has maintained its grip on your bloodline does not release quietly. It sent doubt through the voices of people closest to you. It dressed itself as practical advice when people told you to be realistic. It weaponized comparison, delay, and fear of failure to keep you inside the financial boundary your ancestors never crossed. But the second force, the divine intelligence assigned to bloodline restoration, also activated. It has been placing people, information, and opportunities in your path ever since. Both forces have been watching every choice you make, and you have been tested in ways you did not recognize as tests at the time. There was the moment someone offered you fast money that required you to compromise your integrity, and something in you said no, even when the bills were pressing. There was the time you could have quit the thing you were building because it was taking too long, and the results were invisible, but you stayed. There was the season when everyone around you was spending and celebrating, and you quietly saved, invested, or studied instead, not because it was easy, but because something in you understood that delayed reward was the language of lasting wealth. Each of those moments was evaluated at the highest level. In the celestial ledgers that track the trajectory of human bloodlines, there is a marking reserved for the rarest category of soul. It is not given to the most talented. It is not given to the most educated or the most connected. It is given to the one who carries what the ancient orders called the burden of the breakthrough, the ability to absorb the full weight of a family's financial trauma and convert it into forward motion without being destroyed by the pressure. Higher intelligences that govern prosperity cycles have classified you as a pattern breaker. That classification means your financial success is not just personal. It is cosmically authorized for the sake of everyone connected to your name. When you made the internal decision to become something your bloodline had never seen before, the archangels assigned to legacy and inheritance turned toward your life in full attention. The divine watchers who record the moments that alter generational trajectories marked your decision in the category of the sacred. And the highest intelligence, God, Source, Universe, whatever name carries truth for you, looked at your bloodline in its entirety. looked at the generations of struggle, of almost, of so close, but not quite, and looked at you standing at the edge of what has never been done in your family before, and called what you were about to do holy. Your courage was witnessed at the deepest level possible. A decree was then issued over your financial destiny that cannot be revoked by circumstance, by delay, or by the opinions of people who cannot yet see what you are becoming. The language of it translates into this. This soul carries the assignment of first. First in the bloodline to build wealth that survives them. First to create assets instead of only earning wages. First to teach their children a financial language that was never spoken in the family home. The universe does not issue this decree to everyone who wants wealth. It issues it to the one who has already begun paying the price of transformation in private. That person is you, and the decree is already active. You did not arrive in this family by accident. You were placed in this specific bloodline, with its specific wounds and limitations and unspoken financial fears, because you are an ancient soul who has broken cycles before. In previous expressions of your existence, you have been the one who turned the tide, not through inheritance, not through privilege, but through the particular combination of hunger, discipline, and spiritual tenacity that you carried into this life again. You are not simply a motivated person. You are a generational assassin in the most sacred sense, sent specifically to kill the poverty consciousness that has lived in your family's bloodline longer than anyone still living can remember. This is your oldest identity finally surfacing. Your mission is larger than your bank account. Every skill you develop, every financial boundary you push past, every asset you build is not just for you. It is a transmission being sent backward and forward through time. Backward to the ancestors who died without seeing the breakthrough, whose sacrifices created the conditions for you to be here. Forward to children and great-grandchildren who will never have to start from zero because you refuse to stay there. You are assigned to anchor a new financial identity for everyone who carries your blood. Your wealth is meant to be a foundation, not a ceiling. Building it is not ambition. It is sacred responsibility. Because the decree over your life is now active, the material world is already beginning to reorganize. You will notice that the right information keeps finding you at exactly the right time. That people with resources, knowledge, and access are beginning to appear in your path in ways that feel almost orchestrated. That doors which were previously closed are developing cracks of light around their edges. This is not coincidence assembling itself. This is divine infrastructure being constructed around your assignment. The wealth that is coming to you has already been prepared. What is happening now is the alignment of your outer reality with the internal decision you made when no one was watching and no one was cheering. But understand that your elevation will do something to the people around you that you cannot fully control or predict. When they see you break the ceiling your family has lived under for generations, something will crack open inside them too. Cousins who had given up will start asking questions. Siblings who mocked the dream will quietly begin trying. Friends from the old neighborhood will feel a permission they never felt before. You will not have to preach a single word. Your results will be the sermon. Your life will become the evidence that the pattern can be broken, and that evidence will spread through every circle, connected to you like light moving through a window that was just opened for the first time. And you need to know that you are not doing this alone, because across this world right now, thousands of other pattern breakers are receiving the same activation. They are in different countries, different cultures, different financial starting points, but they all carry the same internal marking, the same quiet fire, the same willingness to be the first, to be misunderstood, to be patient while the work compounds invisibly. They are the millionaires of their bloodlines in the process of becoming, and they are all moving into their breakthrough season simultaneously. When you encounter someone who carries that same unexplainable belief in what they are building despite where they started, recognize them. You belong to the same ancient and activated network. If this message found something real inside you, if it named the thing you have been carrying quietly, the belief that you are meant for more than the financial pattern your family has always known, then do something with that recognition right now. Leave 777 in the comments, because that number declares to the universe and to this community that you have received the activation and you are ready to step fully into your assignment. Share this with someone in your bloodline or your circle who is also fighting to break the cycle. Subscribe so that every transmission this channel carries continues to find you in the exact season you need it. Your generational breakthrough is not coming. It has already begun.